من القاهرة إلى كيب تاون دلواندا تمابوتو we rise as one. From the pharaohs of Egypt to the super eagles flight, the Atlas lions roar with might. The elephants of Cote d'Ivoire charge ahead, Teranga lions never dread. The black stars shine in Ghana's sky, Bafana Bafana dance, spirits high. The sable antelopes leap with grace, and the desert foxes set the pace. One Africa, one goal. Feel the passion in your soul. From the mountains to the shore, we play for pride, we roar as one. Moja Africa, Moja Ndoto. One Africa, one dream. Uma Africa.
Welcome to the Inside AFCON on 97.3 Citi FM. This is the place for all the AFCON talk, review of the matches. Well, of course, the Black Stars are not there, but we will still talk about the AFCON. It's always an interactive show, so you can send in your thoughts on the WhatsApp line 0539969996.
The indomitable lions never fall. The warriors of
It's the 2025 AFCON.
the flames.
6 cities, 9 venues hosting the tournament. 24 countries.
Congo fight the fight.
Cote d'Ivoire, the defending champions. Can they retain the title?
Gallop free.
Can Morocco win it for the first time since 1976?
The scorpion
Well, the last time Morocco actually hosted the walk at the AFCON, it was in 1988.
won't hide. Blow the
They had to manage for a fourth place after losing to Algeria on penalties.
the sky.
Let's see if the Atlas Lions can do it again. Nigeria, one of the favorites.
In every place. All good.
Also, the dark horses are lacking. DR Congo, South Africa. Yao Ejiminta has got this
One Africa.
really big love for South Africa. Hugo Bruce and his men to go all the way and win the AFCON. Can they do it? Let's hear it from you.
From the mountains to the
Welcome to the show. I am Gabi Ofe. In studio with me is Yao Ejiminta.
Moja Africa, Moja Ndoto. Africa, one dream. Let the
And also Paul Tete
do it.
to do the discussion with me. Like I said, you can also join the conversation. Before I get the thoughts of the guys, let me just run you through the results
One Africa.
from yesterday and also today's matches before we get into all the talk.
From the pharaoh.
Well, let me start off with today. Equatorial Guinea, they lost to Burkina Faso by 2-1. That game was played earlier today. Algeria currently playing Sudan. It's 1-0.
Teranga lions never.
Yeah, when you talk about Sudan, it's only just one man that comes into mind. James Kwesi Appiah, former Black Stars coach.
Bafana dance. Spirits high.
And you know what's interesting about the AFCON, right? The Black Stars are not there, but we have a former coach there.
Desert
And
fox.
we also have Stone Boy there. Yo, there's Stone Boy there. So, I mean, we can take...
He's back. He went to do his thing and he's
No,
back.
but I'm still saying that there's Ghana there.
Oh yeah, but Ketokweku is there.
Exactly.
Yeah, the JFA president is there.
Yeah,
he
so
was
there's-
he was fraternizing with Gianni Infantino
Exactly.
and Dr. Patrice Musepe.
Yeah.
He
And
was there.
for the uninitiated, lots of people don't actually know that Kets is also the second vice president
Yeah.
for at CAF. And so you would see him at competitions like this. But guys, welcome to the show, Paul and Yao Ejiminta. Paul,
thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, let me start off with you. Just initial thoughts on the games played so far. Yesterday, I was having a chat with Edwin, and I told him that I've realized something about the AFCON this time around. What I've realized is that, unlike the past editions in the group stages, you've actually seen the countries scoring a lot of the goals more. You don't have these dead rubber games, like those boring goalless 1-1. and all that stuff. We've seen 2 goals. We've seen 2-1. We've seen
2-1.
1-1.
Multiple 2-1s.
Yes.
We've seen 3-1.
Yes.
The
3-0.
Tunisia.
Exactly. We've seen a 3-0 from
3-0
Senegal.
Yeah.
So,
Botswana.
I mean, what has been your thoughts generally so far with the games played?
Oh yeah, quality games that have been played so far. You can tell that yes, the quality, the talent is there. The natural talent is there.
Yeah.
And you can tell that the coaches have really worked on the players to be able to use or utilize those talents to be able to play good football. And the product that we've seen so far is just pure quality. I mean, you have to also admit that the aesthetics have helped. You look at the pitch, the quality of the pitches. You look at the camera angles, the quality of the cameras that they are using.
Yeah.
You look at the whole ambience of the stadium, the competition itself, the production that goes into it, the organizations that are associated with it. Each element that is associated with this AFCON and in recent AFCONs, it just elevates the whole imagery of the competition.
Okay.
And like I always say, you can't, and I always use this analogy when I'm criticizing the matters concerning the Ghana Premier League. Look, you can have the best of players, you can have the best of coaches, and you can getting the players to be playing the best of games. But if the game is being played on a terrible pitch, it does not aid in the aesthetics of the game. It makes it difficult to watch. I mean, like I always say, you can have the best of chefs cook the best of jollof rice, but if it is served on a dustbin platter, or the cover of a
the
dustbin,
food won't taste nice.
no matter how you present it, no matter how good the food is, the presentation messes it up.
Okay.
And so having good quality pitches, top level quality stadiums, and being able to play quality games on these pitches and in these stadiums, it just enhances the experience and it makes it a wonderful tournament to watch. And so far, so good. It has not flopped. It has delivered. Even the first game, the opening game, you look at the second goal that El Kaibi scored, the overhead kick. The overhead kick yesterday, for instance.
I hear it's business as usual for Kabi because it's
that's
something he's been doing.
You look at Aluchi yesterday, Tunisia's game, the second goal that
was
he scored.
surprising. I thought that game would give us that. Yesterday I was having that chat with you off air that Tunisia at every AFCON tournament, you actually don't know what side will turn up. And you made mention about the fact that it's normally just about vibes, like
the aura that they have because they are North Africans and normally.
But yesterday they showed something.
They really took the game to the Ugandans and they did well. They played a little bit more expansive than I would have expected or I would have thought. And the goal that Aluchi scored. The second goal, it was a very difficult goal to score, and the way he took it, it was just brilliant. And it just epitomizes the quality of goals that we've seen and the quality of games that we've seen. Look at the goal that Nicholas Jackson scored, the first goal, for instance. That composure that he showed, it was just brilliant.
The second.
It was just brilliant. And so for me, so far, so good quality products that we've seen on display. And it just buttresses my point that if you take out the World Cup, the AFCON is the best continental football tournament in the world. It is the best continental football tournament in the world.
More than the Euros, the Copa America.
More than the Euros. We've seen the Euros. Forget about the Copa America. Put it aside. Because we it's just mismatch after mismatch. It's just when you get to the semi-finals that you get
you have the games,
competitive games. But when you look at the Euros, we saw the last Euros. Most of the games, particularly at the group stage, were just flat out boring. They were mismatches, more or less. But in this competition, you don't see the mismatches. Even though
talent evenly spread.
Even though the talent, you can tell that the quality would eventually come to the fore. But the games are competitive. They are not one-sided. The games are very competitive, and like I said, so far so good, and I've loved every bit about the AFCON that we've seen so far, and I'm pretty sure it will be sustained till the end of the competition.
All right, Paul, I'll come to you pretty soon. Let me just run our viewers. We're live on YouTube, Citi Sports GHA. You can head to the place just in case you are not listening to us on radio and are watching us on YouTube. Just go there, leave your thoughts. As we speak, we have Algeria taking on Sudan. It's 90 minutes played in that game. Algeria are one of the favorites to win the AFCON. For Sudan, I mean, the AFCON is everybody's game. Anybody can win it. So let's see if Sudan can actually be one of those teams. Just imagine the faces of Ghanaians if Kwesi Appiah guides this team to win the AFCON. Let me run listeners and viewers through the starting 11 for both teams. Algeria starts with Luka Zidane. That's Zidane's son in post for the Algerian national team. Ait Nouri is playing as the left back for Algeria today. They've got Ben Sebaini partnering Mandi, and then Belgali as the right back. A midfield trio of Benassar and Badawi also playing. Riyad Mahrez is leading, is in there. Chaibi is playing for Algeria today, and Moura is also there. And then Buneja leading the attack for the Desert Foxes of Algeria. For Sudan, their goalkeeper is El Nil, a back four of Awad, Said, Kashum, and Kamis. A midfield trio of Tai4, Abugla and Omar, and then a front three of Isa Amat and Isa Mahmoud, and also Alassan leading the attack for the Sudanese national team. It's a 4-3-3 formation. Head coaches Kwesi Appiah. Paul, talk to me about the Sudanese national team. They are our very own man. Kwesi Appiah is their head coach. We've seen the team on a very good trajectory ever since he took charge of the team. Just what are your thoughts about what he's done with the team, and where do you think they can get to, though?
I think so far so good for Kwesi Appiah.
Yeah.
Looking at what is happening back home, all those happening, and then from training, he's been able to guide the team to the AFCON. He has done pretty well.
Yeah.
Unlike us, that we were not able to qualify with nothing happening back home.
Yeah.
Sudan has done pretty well. Kwesi Appiah has done pretty well with this team. If you look at the team, they are young, they are quick, they adapt to play very easily. And then looking at this AFCON, they are coming in as an underdogs.
Yeah.
And then they'll try to keep the ball, they'll try to stay solid, compact, because this Algerian team, they are quick to play, their transition is very swift, unlike the Sudanese who stay compact and then go into spaces when they are needed most.
Yeah.
So I think Kwesi Appiah has done well with this team, and then we'll look at where he'll get to. But I think the group is very tough for him.
Yeah.
The group
he finds himself in a very
tough group.
Okay. Just quick thoughts on Kwesi Appiah. Same question I asked Paul, especially with the work he's done at the national team so far for the Sudanese national team.
Oh yeah, he's been impressive. You look at what he's been able to do, considering the circumstances, as Paul mentioned, in Sudan. Like, there's a civil war going on. There's a civil war going on in Sudan, and their league has had to get suspended. Their top two league teams have had to stay competitive by playing in the Rwandan league, and you have a situation where the players are scattered all over. Getting them is to concentrate and play is quite difficult, because at the end of the day they have relatives that have been caught up in the war and definitely need a little bit of comfort in terms of their safety, and so definitely it would affect them. And so having the ability to coax consistency out of them, getting them to be focused is very commendable from James Kwesi Appiah.
Okay.
And you look at overall the tactical approach to the games that they've played, it's impressive. And I go back to the AFCON qualifiers when they beat us in, I believe it was in Morocco. They beat us. No, it was in Libya.
Yeah.
It was in Libya.
Yeah.
They beat us in Libya, and everything, their approach to that game just showed me that this group is really focused, and they really pay attention to the details.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, that game that they played in Libya, they could have played it in Morocco, but they specifically chose that stadium in Libya because the pitch is small and it doesn't give Ghana the chance to utilize the wings, because they noticed that Ghana normally our play through the middle isn't the best.
Yeah, attacking players mostly come from.
Yeah, it comes from the wings, and which is no surprise because the most competitive position in the Black Stars is the wing areas. You have a lot of options in those wing areas, and so they chose a small pitch to ensure that Ghana didn't have too much leeway attacking from the wings, and so we had to funnel our attacks through the middle. And in that sense, they packed the middle, and it made things quite difficult for us.
Yeah.
Then they also pinpointed Ghana's issues or uneasiness when it comes to defending the long balls. And so once the midfield is packed and they get a chance to break, they just swing in the long ball, have one striker just run at the defenders, even if the ball is way beyond him. Just run at the defenders and cause them to be a bit uncomfortable. And once you do that, then the panic sets in. And so what that tells me is that this team, they have a holistic approach. Aside the motivating them psychologically and getting them to be ultra focused on qualifying to the AFCON, being very competitive in the just ended 2026 FIFA World Cup qualification campaign. They've also done their homework, or they also do their homework when it comes to the tactical aspect. This game that we are watching, the first 5 minutes after conceding a goal to Algeria, they noticed that Algeria, clearly they did their homework. Algeria want to play out from the back, and so as soon as Lucas Zidane got the ball and was about to start play, you saw two Sudanese forwards right at the edge of the box, and they were so eager to press that even the referee had to tell them to get behind the penalty box before and wait till an Algerian player kicks the ball before they can launch their press. And that tells me that they've really studied this Algerian team. They've done their due diligence, and they have a proper game plan, and they've had some decent openings. It's unfortunate that their striker, I believe it was Aiza, he got a bit selfish, and instead of just squaring the ball to a teammate, he decided to go for goal, and the shot attempt got quite easily blocked. And so for me, yes, Kwesi Appiah, he deserves all the plaudits. Because let's face fact, the quality is not the best and it's not the deepest, but he's been able to do so well, get a lot out of these players. And when you couple that with the fact that they have issues back home, limited resources, all challenges all over, you can tell that he has done a tremendous job. And I honestly, looking at the way the group is set up, I don't think they'll be able to progress. I think Algeria and Burkina Faso will get it. Not
even activating the other option, which
is the third as one of the best third place teams. I don't see that happening because Equatorial Guinea are a very competitive and good team. So I don't see them being more or less whipping boys, and to the extent that they won't bag any points, and Sudan might just end up getting maybe 3 points or 4 points if they end up drawing with Burkina Faso. That is if they end up losing this game. You get it. For them to be able to get enough points to scrape through, I don't see that happening. And so I don't see them progressing to the next stage. But getting Sudan to qualify and get to this competition, looking at all that is going on, Kwesi Appiah deserves a ton of commendation.
Let the world see how we do it.
Now, the two countries actually have 3 AFCON titles between them. For Algeria, they won first on home soil in 1990, and they did so in 2019. Then Sudan, their only AFCON title came also on home soil in 1970. So host and win for the two countries.
The elephants of
Yeah, let's see if they can. Let's see who gets this 3 points today. Let me just run you through the other games from yesterday. We'll quickly touch on that. Yeah, so DR Congo beats Benin by 1-0. Senegal also beats Botswana by 3-0. Nigeria 2, Tanzania 1. Then Tunisia also beat Uganda by 3-1. So far, the AFCON, right? You have all the North African countries winning their games. So Morocco won, Egypt won, Tunisia won yesterday. Algeria currently winning. For just quick thoughts on that. I mean, they have always held on to a certain standard. They believe that when it comes to football on the African continent, they have taken the lead. And for Morocco especially, hosting the AFCON with one eye on hosting the 2030 World Cup is huge for them. What are your thoughts about the North African countries, though?
Look, the North African countries are now trying to make a statement. Unlike before, we know them for this typical style of play. When they lead you by a goal to nil, they keep falling down. They torment the referee just because things are not going their way. But look, from 2010 onwards, they are now trying to see football as a major thing they have to do to put them on the map, because there's nothing really coming from Morocco that people get to see them. So unlike the others, they say, look, let's do football well. And then we've seen the tremendous things they are doing in terms of football.
The changes.
Yes, the changes, the trajectory they've been on from the time the Guinea's right to hold was stripped and then given to Morocco. We've seen the wonderful things that they've done. We've seen Algeria winning the AFCON 2019.
2019.
Yes, and then Tunisia hasn't really come to play like that, but you can see what they are doing.
I think of all the 5 or 4, they've been the only country that, in terms of going to a tournament and going that far or making a proper statement, they have been that only country that have not really impressed that much as compared to Egypt. I mean, Egypt had the most decorated countries when it comes to the AFCON, 7 titles. Morocco, the last time they won 1980. 76. They've not won it since. So Algeria won it in 2019, like he said.
So I think the North Africans are trying to make a statement because, as you said, Morocco hosting this one and then keeping an eye on the 2030 World Cup. It shows how the North African countries are progressing in terms of football. Now, most of their players play their trade abroad. Unlike time past, their players are supposed to play for a certain team in the country. But now they infuse the modern European style to their local style, and then infuse their local players to the foreign-based players, and then they play wonderful football. Just look at Egypt. Egypt played wonderful football the other time. Tunisia played wonderful football yesterday, and then Algeria, here we are, they are playing wonderful football. So I think the North African countries are trying to make a statement that, look, now when it comes to football on the African continent, we are the powerhouse.
Let's talk about Nigeria yesterday. You and I were watching that game. A lot of people, I've actually monitored a lot of the commentary around the game. People say they were lucky. People say Tanzanian team gave them a fight. I don't know your thoughts.
I mean, it wasn't the most impressive performance from the Super Eagles, and the coach Eric Schell made it known that yes, they do have to improve, and they made some 2 big mistakes in the second half, and they conceded a goal from it. And generally they weren't too impressive, but at the end of the day, they won. That's the thing, they won their game. And it being the opening game of the tournament, it is important that you start off on a good note. Or if you don't even win it and you end up drawing it, it's better than losing. Losing puts you in a situation where it makes it difficult to qualify.
Yeah.
And so they being able to scrape through and get the win, I think they will be okay with it. But yes, the performances need to improve. But I look at it and I don't think that it should be a major cause for alarm, because at the end of the day, this is a tournament. You don't necessarily need to play pretty football to be able
champagne
to
football, and you get to the latter stage.
You get to the latter stage. Yeah, and that's what Nigeria did at the 2021 AFCON. Yeah, under Austin Oguavon.
Yeah.
Where they were simply brilliant in the group stage.
And then they exited in the round of 16.
Yes, exactly. And at a tournament like this, you want to get your worst game out of the way. There's always a game where you don't play necessarily to your level, to your best level.
Okay.
And if you're able to get that out of the way, then you are good, because the best games will be able to get you far.
Yeah. And
unlike, like I mentioned, the 2021 edition, where their worst game or their bad game, quote unquote, that pretty much every team that wins a tournament gets or plays in the tournament will experience. It came at the worst time. It came at the round of 16 stage, and they got kicked out. Even at the last AFCON, they didn't necessarily start well. I watched their opening game. I think they drew. They even drew that particular game. And so it is not the worst thing that could have happened to Nigeria, considering they won, and it being the first game of the competition, and it being AFCON. The nature of the competition just dictates to you that, look, it's not necessarily a situation where you have to play pretty for you to win. You can win in an ugly way. At the end of the day, once you bag all 3 points at the group stage and you're able to progress and continue bagging the wins and making further progress in the tournament, that is the most important thing. Yes, it might not look pretty, but Nigeria managed to get the win, and it is the next game, the upcoming game against Tunisia.
Yeah,
that's where you can really start to be able to give them a proper assessment on whether they can really go far, or they might just end up getting to, let's say, the quarterfinals and falling short of they making it to the final like they did in the last edition. So I would just say, I would just hold my horses, and wait for.
Let's not rush there.
And wait for how they and wait to see how they perform in that game against Tunisia on Saturday.
Okay, would preview the next two games soon. So that's Cote d'Ivoire, the defending champions, taking on Mozambique at 5:30 p.m. and then Cameroon up against Gabon in the next two games coming up later today. You're listening to the Inside AFCON 2025 on Citi 97.3. I'm Gab, your friend in studio with Yao Jaminta and Paul Tete. You can send in your thoughts. Let's hear from you what you think about the AFCON so far. I know the Black Stars are not there, so a lot of people are actually not paying attention. Yeah, but you have to watch it. Today I was in town. Somebody met me and said that the person is still trying to come to terms or accept that the Black Stars are not there.
I mean, because it's difficult. It's difficult. I mean, you have how many countries in Africa? 55, 54.
Yeah.
Depending on where you stand on Western Sahara. So at the end of the day, you have 54 countries, and not all of them participate in the qualifiers. Eritrea, for instance, they don't participate in the qualifiers, and so it is whittled down. The number is whittled down. And now the AFCON has been expanded from 8 to 16 to 24.
And
so
still,
that is virtually half of the African continent.
Yeah.
So you have
half of the best on the African continent
are in the
going
tournament.
To the AFCON
are in the tournament, and Ghana isn't in the tournament. And so when you think about it, it makes it very difficult to understand that, a nation that is as blessed as Ghana with a lot of quality players couldn't make it to the AFCON. And the worst part is Ghana finished bottom in the group.
Think about
in
it.
in the qualifiers.
Yeah, in the qualifiers though.
Niger, Sudan, and Angola. Ghana finished bottom. That's the crazy part. Like, even if Ghana missed out on qualification, at least finished third. But Ghana couldn't even finish third. Ghana finished fourth, bottom of that particular group. And so for me, that was very disappointing. And I understand why a lot of people still can't
get over it.
Can't get over it and can't comprehend why on earth Ghana, or how Ghana missed out on qualifying to the AFCON. Because imagine right now, Antoine Semenyo is the talk of the town. Imagine he playing in this competition. Trust me, his value would have even improved. And so for me, Ghana not being there is a big disappointment. And you know my stance on this issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, once we fail to qualify to the AFCON,
if you were in Keshi, you would have sacked the coach longest.
Yes, and you gave him a little bit of grace to show a market improvement in the World Cup qualifiers. And yes, he did qualify to the World Cup, but at the end of the day, were the performance good enough to give you reason to believe that, okay, yes, maybe not qualifying to the AFCON was a blip, and it's just one of those things that you just can't explain it. Yeah, but we saw in the World Cup qualifiers that no, there wasn't any major improvement, and it just gives you more worry ahead of the World Cup. And so in that situation, or in that instance, you have a situation where he didn't meet one of his major KPIs, and on top of that, qualifying to the World Cup, yes, that was met, but that was done in a very underwhelming fashion. And so there isn't much to believe that things will get better. So in that sense, like I said, as soon as we were done with that Comoros game and the qualification to the World Cup was official,
sack the coach?
Yeah, the coach needed to go.
Okay.
That was another brilliant goal, but unfortunately it has been ruled out for offside.
And Sudan are 1 month down. Adil, record. In the 39th minute, that further complicates their chances of going past the Algerian national team.
So for me, Ghana failing to qualify to the AFCON, and coupled with other instances that we've seen, it should have warranted a major change when it comes to the coaching side. But from all indications, I don't think that's going to happen. Okay. So we'll see how things go.
Where do you stand on the Otuado Sako stay conversation? After that abysmal outing at the AFCON, if we're in Ket's shoes, what would you have done?
I would have sacked him.
Sack him?
Simple.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. Because look, we are going to a World Cup to face tough opponents. Look, England is no match. England is no easy match. Panama same, and Croatia same. Look, we are going to meet top coaches, and then we are coming to the World Cup with Otuado. What's on his CV? Nothing. Otuado should have left immediately. He couldn't qualify us for the AFCON, as my brother was saying. So for me, Otuado should have been sacked.
Okay. Let the world see how. Let's get into the final 2 games coming up later today. Tomorrow, the countries are actually rest. Tomorrow is Christmas, so no games tomorrow. The games will kick off. We'll be back on Boxing Day, 26th. So that's when you have the games back. So I'll run you through the games which will be happening on 26th. But let's look at the next 2 games for today. At 5:30, there is Ivory Coast taking on Mozambique. Then Cameroon will take on Gabon.
The black star shine in Ghana's sky. Bafana dance. Spirits high.
And then on Friday, 26th December, Angola at 12:30 will take on Zimbabwe. And then at 3 p.m. there is Egypt, South Africa. That should be a good game. At 5:30, Zambia will take on Comoros. And then at 8 p.m. there's another big game in Morocco taking on Mali on Friday, December 26th. So like I said, tomorrow no games at the AFCON. Let me just run you through the goal scorers so far at the 2025 AFCON. So Achuri for Tunisia has 2 goals so far. Nicholas Jackson follows second for Senegal, also with 2 goals. And then Lau Foster, he played for South Africa. is also in there, 1 goal. He plays his club football for Burnley. And then there's Semi Ajayi of Nigeria scored yesterday. Equatorial Guinea, Apolis of South Africa is also in there. Bongoda of DR Congo, Patson Daka, Brahim Diaz, El Kabi, Lukman, Mares, Mamouche, Indiaye, Mohamed Salah, Sinayoko, Tapsoba, Iwobi. All these are players who have scored so far for their countries. And one thing I've realized is that a lot of the goal scorers are actually play their club football in a Premier League. Surprising?
Oh, not surprising.
Not too surprising. It speaks about the quality, right?
Yeah. And that's why they create a lot of noise about the AFCON and the players departing for the AFCON. But my stance on that issue is I think it's overblown.
It's overblown.
Oh yeah, it's overblown because at the end of the day, not all the teams would have their players make a deep run in the competition.
Exactly.
So max after the group stage, a lot of them will be coming back to the club, and so maximum number of weeks that you'll be missing out on the service of these players. It'll be 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Just 2 weeks, because now the way they structured the Christmas period, you don't play games on a lot of games on Boxing Day, a lot of games on Christmas Day. Unlike before.
So Boxing Day in the EPO, I think it's just one game.
It's just one game. I think Man United and Newcastle. Yeah, that's it. And all the games will be played on Saturday. And so what that means is you've just missed, and they played this past weekend before moving to their various clubs. Or the previous weekend before they moved to their various clubs. So they've missed out on just one game this past weekend round of games, and then they'll miss this upcoming weekend round of games, and then another game in the early part of next year in January.
Okay,
that's pretty much it, because at the end of those 3 games, the group stage of the CAF AFCON will be done, and so a huge chunk of them will return to their clubs. So what's the big deal? Just 3 games? I think that issue is overblown.
But don't you think Sunderland are actually feeling it? Because they have about 7 to 8 players leaving for the AFCON.
But
that's they will feel it more than the other teams.
Yes, they will feel it more than the other teams. But at the end of the day, there's always that bit that, yes, you need to plan for it.
Okay.
You need to plan for it. And yes,
I'm sure they had that in mind.
Yes, they definitely had that in mind. And at the end of you can make an argument that, okay, why should a team be having to deal with that headache upon all the competition that they have to deal with, upon all the headaches that they have to deal with? But at the end of the day, it just tells you that, look, you had options, but you decided to go in for this player, knowing very well that this competition will likely affect his availability. But at the end of the day, you still went ahead and bought him because of the quality that he brings. And it just shows you the level of quality materials that are at play when it comes to the AFCON. I just hope and pray that at this point they've already decided that it will be moved to June and July.
Starting from the next one.
And maybe there might be an asterisk or a few instances where it might get changed to December and January if the weather is a bit too harsh. But June and July will be pretty much the standard, and I absolutely am against it. I don't subscribe. I don't subscribe to it.
Okay. Let's get into the last 2 games. Paul, let me start off with you. Ivory Coast taking on Mozambique. You do that one for me, and then I'll do Cameroon, Gabon. Ivory Coast are the defending champions. They come up against another, you want to say a less fancy team in Mozambique, who are ranked 102 on the latest FIFA ranking heading into the AFCON. Ivory Coast are 42nd. Ivory Coast are going to that tournament on the back of that whole episode when they hosted it, when they sacked their head coach. MS Faye came in, guided the team, they won the AFCON and all of that. You look at the players they've got, decent players, Gerson, Aston Villa, Amad Diallo, United, Diomande, Sangari, Kessie, Fofana, Indika. These are like proper players, and a large chunk of the players who played at the last AFCON are also there. Who is taking this? Who's winning this?
Look, Ivory Coast are coming in as defending champions. And then
pressure on them?
Not at all.
Relaxed.
Why
do you say so?
Because look, by hook or crook, they are going to beat Mozambique. So Mozambique are coming in as underdogs.
Yeah.
Then,
But don't you think it's, if you want to pay attention to what we've seen from the other teams, so i.e. Tanzania, Comoros, even though they lost, you look at that performance from Comoros against Morocco in the first half. Tanzania gave Nigeria a run for their money. Senegal themselves, Botswana, yeah, I don't think you should write off Mozambique like that away.
look, if Ivory Coast are able to control the game right from the blast of the whistle, and then they're able to dictate the pace in the midfield, and then they attack from the wings, they press high, and then they control a certain part of the midfield, they are going to win the game hands down. And then look, Mozambique will try and defend tightly and then counter Ivory Coast as in when they get the opportunity. But look, Ivory Coast will control the game, all aspects of the game.
You think it would have to eventually boil down to the talent they've got, the quality in the team?
Look, Ivory Coast has a pool of wonderful, exceptional players. Look,
Yeah.
most of them are playing their trade abroad, and then unlike these Mozambiques, look, with no disrespect to them, but most of them are playing their local league that cannot match the quality of these players. So
Charlie,
look,
you know how I'm laughing. Yeah, you know why I'm laughing. The Mozambicans at the last AFCON, I mean, they are the ones who play.
The
then
ones
our
that
goalkeeper-
knocked Ghana out.
Don't touch, I'll touch.
Yeah. Richard Ofori, that episode.
Hey, Charlie.
Mandalva, Ronaldo.
It still feels fresh on my mind.
so these Mozambicans, they'll struggle to keep the ball.
Okay.
But eventually,
But I think they're a decent side though.
Gabi.
Yeah, they're decent side, but against
Ivory
Cote
Coast,
d'Ivoire,
a star-studded team
You
like
think
Ivory
Ivory
Coast.
goes away?
Oh,
Yeah, I
simple.
think Ivory Coast will win.
Okay, so
3-0 for me.
3-0 for you. Okay, yeah. Cameroon Gabon, that should be good.
Yeah, I think that's the standout game in today's fixtures because of the level of competition that we are likely to see from both teams. I think with the games that we've had so far, or we are going to have in today's round of fixtures, it's pretty easy to call. I mean, you look at Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea. Yeah, Burkina Faso won. It was expected.
Yeah.
Algeria, Sudan, very expected that Algeria will beat Sudan. And as things stand, it's going as expected because Algeria are leading Sudan by a goal to 0.
Yep.
It's halftime.
Yep.
And on top of that, Sudan, they are down by a man because of a red card. And so likely Algeria will beat Sudan. And with the Cote d'Ivoire Mozambique game, very likely Cote d'Ivoire will beat Mozambique. And so the Cameroon Gabon game is the one that isn't straightforward to call. And particularly looking at the way Gabon participated or competed in the playoffs, the World Cup playoffs, and even the World Cup qualifiers as a whole. Yeah, they really impressed me with their overall play.
Okay.
And the fact that Aubameyang this time around has been able to translate his wonderful form for Olympic Marseille to Gabon. And so they will definitely give Cameroon a good fight, especially in a situation where Cameroon are playing with a lot of baggage that they have to deal with. Looking at all the chaos that came with their pre-AFCON preparations.
Yep.
I mean, you had a situation where the coach got fired, Mark Brees, he got fired, and he decided not to leave because he was making the argument that he was appointed by the
too
ministry.
much turmoil around this team.
Yeah, too much turmoil. He was appointed by the ministry and not the FA.
Yeah.
But it was the FA that announced that he had been sacked.
Yeah.
And then they brought in one of his former assistants.
You know, we had a
David
similar
Pagu.
in a situation here with Milovan Raiva.
Yeah.
When they sacked him, he was staying at the hotel.
Yeah.
When-
You see, then they brought in one
There's
of
no
his
AFCON
former
without a drama.
assistants, David Pagu, and there was a situation where Mike Breeze brought out a squad.
Yep.
Pagu brought out a squad.
So which squad
So-
is legit?
So which one is legit? But eventually, things have died down, and David Pagu's squad is the legit squad. And I love the bold call that they've made. I mean, you can clearly tell that they are trying to build a proper culture, and that the culture that they had felt a bit rotten, and it had started rotten from for a while now, getting rotten for a while now. Because I remember, was it the 2018 World Cup or 2018 World Cup, 2014 World Cup, where you had Kyle Toko Ekambi and a teammate fighting on the pitch. They had issues, major issues, fallout from that. Nyong, ahead of the 2017 AFCON that they won, he decided not to come because it was just a situation where he valued playing with his club over Cameroon because of all the chaos that was going on. And so I think they are trying to, sorry to borrow this political term, they are trying to reset the culture of the team. And I think this tournament has come a little bit too soon or too early for them. If it had come, let's say, it came just before the AFCON. And once he got re-elected, that's when he got emboldened and he got confident enough to make those sweeping, or to front or lead those sweeping changes that have brought about the omission of Onana, the omission of Vincent Abubakar, all of those guys from the team. And they are trying to lay down the law and reset the culture, like I said, or change the culture about or around the team. But unfortunately, it came 2-3 weeks before the start of the tournament, and I don't think that it's good enough to be able to get them to be able to make a deep run in the tournament. I think it's a bit too soon. If they can maintain this level in terms of discipline and seriousness that they've adopted when it comes to the national team, if they can carry it to the next AFCON beyond this one, the 2027 edition, I think they will be one of the biggest favorites to win it. But for this tournament, I don't see it. But in this game,
who's winning?
I'll go in for a draw.
A draw? Oh,
I'll go in for a draw.
Okay. Let me just jump on to YouTube. We have lots of messages there. Kwame357 says hello everyone with the salute emoji. Elsie Josiah says we are live. He goes on to say this Asian Cup has helped some of them. Wow. Okay. Kwame357 says quick question outside the AFCON. Semenyo to City, good or bad move, guys? Good or bad move,
Liverpool is my pick.
Liverpool is your pick.
Yeah, Liverpool is my pick.
But at this point,
it looks like Man City is going to Man City.
The Athletic was reporting that Semenyo prefers playing
for City. Yeah. I think it's because of the winning culture at City. Once you go to City, you're almost guaranteed that you win a title.
Yeah.
And at his age, next January 7, he turns 26. So he wants to, win some titles.
Okay. So you wouldn't don't commit that move yet?
I wouldn't don't commit that move. But at the end of the day, going to City is way better than going to Spurs or Chelsea. Yeah. Those other teams that were interested in him.
Interested in him.
Yeah. So for me, is it, if he goes to Man City, would it be my best pick for him? No, it wouldn't be my best pick. My best pick would be Liverpool. But if he ends up going to City, it's a very good move. Because at the end of the day, he offers something different from all the wingers that they have. Doku, he's not direct. Tricky, but not direct. He's not a consistent goal scorer.
Savinho is struggling. Oscar Bob is struggling.
Savinho the same. Oscar Bob. And they don't necessarily have the pace. You look at Oscar Bob, he's not the fastest. Foden's future does not lie in the wing areas. It lies centrally. You look at Ryan Cherki, it does not lie in the wing areas. It lies centrally. And so Savinho is quick.
So that's why I think that when he goes into that City team, he picks the right spot.
Yes.
Because Semenyo has shown as a player that he
can play on either
comfortable.
Way.
Both left or
right.
And
so is that the best location or destination for him? I don't think so. I think Liverpool will be the best. But if he ends up going to City, it's a very good move.
All right, Paul, which one would you pick? So far, City for you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
City for me.
All right. Okay, so Josiah, we've answered your question. Kwame says, same. Okay. LC Josiah says he's another Grealish.
Oh no. He's not another Grealish. Like I said, because he's
on the right hand side. arguably he's the best player in the league.
Yeah. You know what I like about him? Semenyo is a proper bully. Like,
Yes.
he loves those defenders
That's
who,
so-
yeah,
yes.
he likes those occasions.
Yes.
And so, I think that, I don't call him to Citi.
Yeah.
And he's a workaholic more than, let's say, Sheki.
Yeah.
He's more of a workaholic than let's say who did they have?
Bernardo
Savinho.
Savinho. Yeah, he's more of a work. His work rate is way higher than those guys, and so in that sense, he gets the nod ahead of those guys.
Okay. Elsit says we just need defenders. Okay. Semenyo no reach City level yet. Hey, okay. You mean wingers with not enough goals? Okay. It comes to Lanor Kevin says if it comes to effective wingers, Semenyo benches all your wingers, both wings. Okay.
And that's the thing. Is he the most talented? No, he isn't.
No.
But is he effective?
Yeah, yes.
Yes,
He works hard too.
And he works hard.
Yeah, so he gives you that.
field of play
in the English Premier League.
Yeah,
Yes.
he gives you that. Yeah. Okay. LC Josiah says Silva no good. Defenders no they by Semenyo. Okay. Morocco can host the World Cup. Kwame 357 says Ghana will exit the World Cup early because the AFCON would have been a good test. Okay, so he goes on to thank us for the reply about the Semenyo conversation.
And the thing is, just a quick one before you go, the thing is, it even boils down to this whole Ghana Black Stars thing about Kudus and Antoine Semenyo. For the Premier League, Antoine Semenyo is a better fit for the Premier League than Mohamed Kudus.
Yep.
As things stand, he's a better fit in the Premier League than Mohamed Kudus.
Yeah.
Though Kudus is way talented than Antoine Semenyo, but Semenyo's work rate, his speed,
his body work,
his directness, yes, it fits the profile of the Premier League.
Yeah.
So, is he like a quote-unquote Pep Guardiola type of player?
Mm-hmm.
No, not necessarily. But at the end of the day, does he fit a Pep Guardiola system in the Premier League?
Yes,
it does.
Okay. So, that's the word on Antoine Semenyo. Let's see where he heads to. Before we leave the studio, let me just run you through the games coming up later at 5:30. Ivory Coast will take on Mozambique, and then Cameroon will take on Gabon. Like I said, there are no games tomorrow. The games will return on 26th December on Boxing Day for the AFCON. Yep. So we're back same time tomorrow for the updates. Guys, thank you so much, Paul Tete. And also Yao Ejeminta. I'm Gabi Ofe. Just catch us same time with Inside AFCON 2025 on Citi 97.3.
From the pharaohs of Egypt to the Super Eagles flight.
All right, I am Gabi Ofe. Traffic Avenue continues with Echo Kumsin. This is 97.3. Enjoy.
Charge ahead, Teranga Lions never dread.
Citi 97.3. Accra.
This Christmas, let the road you travel lead you to a place where comfort meets magic. Welcome to Peduasi Valley Resort, where the ultimate Christmas experience awaits. Indulge in a relaxing massage at our luxurious lavender spa, or revitalize yourself with a refreshing workout at our fitness center. We promise the most rejuvenating Christmas ever. Savor Santos Continental and local breakfast options to begin your day right. Our lunch and dinner buffet with the live band music offer